Hello, my name is Carlin Luciani, and I am currently an undergraduate student here at the University of Guelph. I would like to welcome you to the College of Biological Science in Ontario Veterinary College Convocation ceremony this morning. The University of Guelph is honored by our graduates, and we take great pride in this convocation. I'd like to tell you a little bit about the proceedings today. The ceremonials used for conferring degrees have evolved over a millennium, and the gowns and hoods represent that history. In general, the gowns for the baccalaureate and the magisteriate degrees are black, and the color of the hood is different for each degree program. The doctorates at the University of Guelph have a bright blue gown, and the honorary degrees are an even brighter color. The University of Guelph crest that you can see on the curtains behind me and shown on the cover of the Convocation program also represents our specific history. The emblems in the crest show links with the royal city of Guelph through the white stallion above, the connection to liberal arts through the book, to the sciences through the astrolabe, and our connection to abundance and agriculture through the cornucopia. The University of Guelph motto, Rerum cognoscere causosis, is a quote from Virgil. It is variously translated to be either, happy is the one who is able to ascertain the reason of things, or perhaps to know the meaning of things. The procession of people into the hall are also influenced by ancient tradition. The piper will herald the start of the procession of graduates, the students who are coming to graduate today. This will be followed by the arrival of the mace leading the platform party. The mace is a symbol of authority of the university and will be carried by the beadle. In medieval universities, a beadle was chosen by the instructor to work as an assistant. Today, the beadle is the ceremonial officer of Senate. Following the beadle and mace is the Chancellor, members of the administration and the honorees, fellows at the university, members of the board and Senate, and members of faculty and staff. The degrees will be conferred in the order that you see in your program. The degrees are separated by categories representing the specific degree being awarded within the college. We will begin with doctorates and magisteriates, followed by the baccalaureate degrees. The name reader will announce the degree being awarded at the start of each category. As the name of each student is called, the beadle will place the hood over the recipient's shoulders. This moment will be videoed, and technology willing, there will be a simultaneous live cast of the event to allow family members and friends to watch from a distance. The Chancellor will then confer the degree. We understand the joy and excitement accompanying such an auspicious occasion, but we ask that you hold your applause until after each group of graduates has crossed the stage. There will be an opportunity for a truly thunderous applause after each group has graduated. Once all the degrees are conferred and all the cheers are cheered, the Chancellor will close the ceremony and a recessional will play. Please remain standing during the recessional until all the platform party have processed out of the hall. May I be the first person to congratulate the graduates on their various successes and offer my congratulations to the family and friends who are here to support them. Welcome to Convocation at the University of Guelph.
our home and native land. True patriot love in all thy sons command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true North strong and free. From far and wide, O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Let us pause for a moment and reflect with our whole selves on our unique journeys, our distinct callings, and our place in this complex and mysterious world. In this moment, we acknowledge the Attawandaron people on whose traditional territory the University of Guelph now stands. We offer our respect to their Haudenosaunee, Anishinaabe, and Métis neighbors. We remember that the world as we experience it is not the world as it has always been. Furthermore, it is not the world as it must always be. In this moment, we give thanks for those friendships that have blessed us over the course of our studies. We are grateful for those who have supported us and helped us up: faculty, staff, mentors, and families, for the journey has been long and the traveling hard. I invite you now to embrace a short silence, and in your own way, be it through prayer or remembrance or thoughtful affirming, recognize that for which you are grateful. And as we open ourselves to a new season of life, may the knowledge that we have attained here be coupled with wisdom, colored with compassion, and marked with humility. May we embrace each new opportunity in ways that honor creation, that foster community, and defends the dignity of all people. And may the mystery of life and each precious moment bring us laughter and delight as we seek to be agents of grace and peace and hope for this world. Amen. You may be seated.
Good morning. Welcome. I am delighted to officially open the Fall 2017 University of Guelph Convocation ceremonies and welcome everyone here. President Vaccarino, members of the board, honorary fellows, faculty, staff, family, and friends of the graduates, as we celebrate the achievements of our graduating students. I'd like to offer a particular welcome to our convocation speaker, Professor Peter Krell, who will be introduced to you shortly. My name is Martha Billis, and I have the honor of serving as Chancellor at the University of Guelph. As I mentioned this past spring while presiding at Convocation for the first time, it is an honor to be here at my alma mater as Chancellor. Besides being recognized as Canada's food university, this institution is known as a place that aims to improve life. Graduands, over the past few years, you've already had lots of opportunity to improve your own lives through your studies, through research and scholarship, through new friendships, through community and volunteer experiences. Now, as you prepare for the next phase of your lives, I encourage you to continue to look for ways to improve life for yourselves, but also for those around you in the near and wider world. Many of the tools you will need to meet that challenge have come during your time here at U of Guelph. Years ago, my own dean, Dr. Margaret McCready, had more than a few words of advice. One of her lines especially resonates with me all these years later. Remember, ladies, you are Mac girls, and Mac girls can do anything. And she was right. I stand before you today to proudly and confidently tell you that the education I received here gave me the wherewithal to go out and strive beyond what I thought I was capable of. Since the days of its founding colleges, the University of Guelph has been a leader in practical education focused on the whole person. This university fosters an environment that encourages its community of students to aim higher and make things better. My education opened up doors and offered windows on the world I could not have imagined. Graduands, it's your turn to make a difference and to improve life for ourselves and for others. And I know you can do it because you are, after all, a University of Guelph graduate, and you can do anything. Good luck to you all. Thank you.
Well, good morning, everyone. My name is Franco Vaccarino, and I have the honor and the privilege of serving as the President and Vice Chancellor of this great university. So welcome everyone to Convocation. First off, graduands, this is your big day. You've worked hard, you've persevered, and you've made it. Well done, well deserved. Now, today you all share something in common. You're all University of Guelph graduates. And as you prepare for this next step on your journey, I'd like to share some thoughts with you that may reflect themes that you'll also share and have in common as you look to the years ahead. When we think about what drives us to move forward, to work hard, to be successful, and to go to the next level, we naturally think about life's rewards. That A that you get on a paper, or that raise or bonus you get at your job for a job well done. These are the rewards that drive you to continue working hard and to do better, to raise the bar. Yet, buried within this general reality is the fact that many major advances and so much of your own feelings of success have come not only from that pat on the back for a job well done, but also from how you confronted adversity and challenges. As ironic as it may sound, discomfort and adversity and how we work through that discomfort and adversity are often the spurs for creativity, for innovation, for discovery, and ultimately progress. You can ask one of the many researchers and scholars who make the University of Guelph one of Canada's most innovative universities, like Professor Amar Mohanty, head of University of Guelph's Bioproducts Discovery and Development Center, where plant scientists and engineers are working on sustainable uses of farm crops. Everything from car dashboards to household goods such as single-serve 100% compostable coffee pods. These are all examples of innovations that came out of a sense of dissatisfaction or discomfort from how things were and a need to make things better. Or take the work of Dr. Bonnie Millard, a professor in the Ontario Veterinary College, who earlier this year received a Governor General's Award for innovation for developing a tool that allows farmers and breeders to fight disease and select healthier livestock and to ensure food safety and food quality. Again, innovations that were triggered by the adversity of infections and the health challenges that are related to that. Innovations that come from wanting to make things better. Or English professor A.J. Hebel, who was awarded the Impact Award from the Social Sciences and Humanities Council of Canada. Dr. Hebel's research is about improvisation. AJ's interdisciplinary field, in a sense, deconstructs what improvisation means and uses it to foster community and positive social change and to spark dialogue and discovery around the world. Again, innovation that comes out of wanting to make things better. Every one of these projects and others at the University of Guelph started with someone looking for a way to do something better. As well, likely every one of these researchers encountered challenges. We can be sure they encountered challenges, they encountered hurdles and roadblocks along the way. At times, they likely had to confront adversity and struggle through their own journey in their work and wondered actually if they could overcome those struggles along the way. Graduates, of course, you may also have felt that way from time to time during your years here at the University of Guelph. Clearly, each of you found a way to surmount those roadblocks. It's like that point in the middle of developing your idea for a paper. You start out with an idea, seems fairly straightforward and simple enough. Then you start writing the paper and it all of a sudden starts to feel quite chaotic and then becomes a challenge. And then you keep working through it and you did it because you worked through those challenges. Whether we're talking about the science or the arts or any other career path you might pursue from here, trust the journey, trust the process, and trust yourself, and understand the rewards of pushing through adversity. All three of these examples I mentioned have something else in common. They're all about turning knowledge into action, taking something learned and using that knowledge to make a difference. Turning knowledge into action to address real-world challenges is very much a part of our DNA. It's a vital part of what we do at the University of Guelph and what you've learned here. Now, looking ahead, think about how you will apply your own skills, your own talents, your own knowledge to better yourself and the lives around you. Now, there's one more key message in all three of my examples of University of Guelph research. From green car parts to healthier livestock to improvisation and community building, these projects all bring together varied disciplines, varied perspectives to tackle a challenge to improve some aspect of the world. They're all examples of the good and the success that comes from breaking down barriers, bringing together different areas of expertise, different voices, and different perspectives to address complex problems. Solving any complex problem requires finding common ground and balance, while at the same time working towards some kind of shared goal. No doubt you've encountered challenges during the past few years here that required you to reach out to classmates or to professors, to roommates, to others on campus and others in the broader community. In many cases, I'm sure you had to reach across barriers, consider challenges from what might have been unfamiliar perspectives, and find actually new ways to communicate with others. As you continue your journeys, you will continue to encounter challenges, differences, and new perspectives. These differing perspectives should produce a healthy tension in you. Consider those differing perspectives a source of strength. And I would say actually a source of strength that in many ways defines our own country. And here I'm talking about the diversity that is often the foundation of different perspectives. Diversity that brings resilience and brings strength. Our diversity in this country is a powerful reminder of the common humanity that we all share. You will face many challenges that will open the door to opportunities as you navigate through the years ahead. Addressing those challenges in a healthy and successful way will often require the meeting of many different minds, that sense of common purpose. Keep looking for ways to work together, to bridge differences, to connect the dots, to better understand the world, and to quite simply improve life. Thank you, graduates, and my very best wishes to all of you. Thank you.
Madam Chancellor, on the recommendation of the Senate of the University of Guelph, I have the honor to present to you Peter Krell, candidate for the distinction of University Professor Emeritus. A highly regarded mentor, scientist, and educator, Professor Peter Krell, Department of Molecular and Cellular Biology, is a world authority on insect baculoviruses and other viruses that infect insects. His extensive collaboration with Natural Resources Canada on insect virology and molecular entomology has focused on identifying genes involved in insect development and their regulation in order to control pest devastation of Canada's multi-million-dollar forestry industry. His studies of genes and proteins involved in metamorphosis and odorant receptors are now being used to develop antennae in a box to be used in field diagnostics for identifying invasive forest insects. Professor Krell has also worked in animal virology with researchers in the Ontario Veterinary College, particularly in developing vaccine vectors based on avian viruses. He's published more than 120 peer-reviewed articles, including papers in some of the most prestigious journals in the field. He has served on editorial boards of prominent journals, including as virology section editor for the Canadian Journal of Microbiology since 1995, and in various leadership roles with the Canadian Society of Microbiologists. He's also been a member of the executive of the International Committee on the Taxonomy of Viruses. Since joining the University of Guelph's former Department of Microbiology in 1981, Professor Krell has mentored numerous colleagues, graduate students, and postdoctoral researchers. In well-deserved recognition of his illustrious career and notable international impact, I ask you, Madam Chancellor, to confer upon Peter Krell the distinction of University Professor Emeritus.
By the authority of the Senate of the University of Guelph, I have the honor to name you University Professor Emeritus. Congratulations. Dr. Krell will now give the convocation address. Professor Krell.
Madam Chancellor, Mr. President, esteemed colleagues, distinguished guests, my wife, Dr. Ava Naj, parents, brothers and sisters, and of course, today's graduates. Congratulations. You are about to receive your various degrees during Canada's sesquicentennial. What an honor for you, and what an honor for Canada. Remember this date, October 21, 2017. At the bicentennial, you should look back and reflect on how much has changed, as I'm sure it will. By then, I'm sure smartphones will have gone the way of the dinosaur. Perhaps that's a good thing. I was sitting where you are now, metaphorically speaking, for my convocation in 1970. I received my BSc from Nobel Peace Prize winner, Lester B. Pearson, Canada's 14th Prime Minister, who was responsible for instituting Canada-wide universal health care, the Canada Pension Plan, and student loans. Pretty good for a minority government, which was much more cooperative and less partisan than it is today. Many things have changed since then. In 1970, the world's population was 3.7 billion. It is now more than double that. That's a real challenge for you. Canada's population also doubled to 37 million. No wonder I had trouble finding a parking spot this morning. Then 10% of students went on to university. Now more than 50% go on to colleges and universities in Canada, making Canada one of the most educated countries in the world. Yes, I did have electricity then, though I did go to school by dog sled. I did. As an undergraduate, I wrote letters home, talked to friends on the rotary dial phone, watched television, used the fold-out map to plan my road trips, read the newspaper. That's a paper with news written on it. I had face-to-face conversations with friends over coffee or on occasion a beer. Paid by cash, including $1 bills, and listened to music on the radio or the phonograph. I even used the slide rule. I still do all those things, except for the slide rule. All these things and more can now be done with a single device, a so-called smartphone. If you get the right model, you can even use it to light a barbecue. Sadly, conversations have given way to thumbing. So as not to challenge the brain too much, there are now phone apps for almost everything. There's even an app for when you are tired. It's called a nap. I wonder why it's even called a phone, or even why it's considered smart. If your smartphone directs you to drive into the Toronto subway tunnel, or news it reports is unreliable, or the facts it provides are alternative facts, is it all that smart? If it causes inattention or disrupts your sleeping pattern, is it really all that smart? I'm quite comfortable with my dumb phone. It does exactly what I need to do. It's going to go into back to the museum soon. This is where you come in. You are the smart ones, not totally reliant on your smartphones. René Descartes said in 1664, "Je suis dont je pense," or if your French is a bit rusty, "Cogito ergo sum," some Latin. I think, therefore I am. I would like to turn that phrase around. I am, in other words, you are, therefore I should think, you should think. Think, do not accept facts, do not accept at face value what your smartphone or anything or anyone else tells you. Another quote I like, and is quite appropriate, I think, in science, as in life, is from John of Salisbury, who said in 1155, "Subject everything to doubt." You have been taught that critical approach in science, now apply it to life. This is particularly important in today's society, where you do not know what or who to trust. A like on a Facebook post does not make that post true. In life, as in science, you have to be prepared to accept the null hypothesis, which disproves your own. That something gets published does not mean it is true, even if it is peer-reviewed. Publications are meant to be challenged. It is the nature of science. As much as I rail against smartphones, I appreciate that a lot of basic research in computer programming, chemistry, psychology, marketing, and engineering went into the development of that first smartphone. Similar advances, all reliant on both curiosity-driven and translational science, have occurred in medicine, space, transportation, biotechnology, agriculture, alternatives to energy production, and storage. Well, so much for reflection and philosophy. As a virologist, I would have preferred talking about oncolytic viruses that kill cancer cells, or made in Canada Ebola virus vaccine. But I'm sure you have had enough lectures by now, and you're about to receive a degree that proves it. I read the news constantly to stay informed, as I hope you will. It provides contemporary examples of relevance for my research and teaching, mainly the importance of science to society. This past Tuesday, there was a CBC story about the surprisingly high incidence of human papillomavirus cancers in men, and that men should be able to access a vaccine against it. Why are such stories germane to this graduating class to show the relevance of research to society and to your future avocations. But how did that vaccine come about? It didn't just magically appear on Amazon. By the way, this is not going to be on the exam, so you can relax. Dr. Harold Zurhausen was awarded the Nobel Prize in Medicine in 2008 for his many years of curiosity-driven research in isolating 2 human papillomaviruses, HPV 16 and 18, from cervical cancer biopsies. They were subsequently shown to actually cause the cancer. This primary research provided the aha moment for translational research to develop an HPV-based vaccine to protect against these cancers. At this time, though, Harold could not convince pharmaceutical companies to help fund the necessary vaccine research. The market would be too small, and industry rarely strives to serve the public good. Luckily, governments, at least at that time, recognized the value of basic research and did provide the necessary funding. Subsequently, due to a lot of collaborative basic research, it was demonstrated that an immune response to the major viral surface protein neutralized the virus. But a method was needed to provide sufficient virus-like particles lacking DNA, but still stimulating an immune response. Along came scientists working on a high protein expression level system based on insect baculovirus. Dr. Husband mentioned I work on those. These BEVs were first conceived in 1980 at Texas A&M University when I was a postdoctoral fellow there. We were working on this lowly insect baculoviruses mainly because they were interesting viruses, i.e. it was our curiosity that drove our research. We had regular Friday seminars off campus. The rest of this is very important. Texas A&M is a dry campus, but its borders were awash with pubs. We chose the Chicken Oil Company to discuss research, play pool, and eat death burgers. Death burgers are laced with jalapeno peppers, and they're washed down with a Lone Star beer, or 2, or 3. At one seminar, we discussed our recent observation that the baculovirus polyhedron protein was made in huge amounts. That's in capital letters, huge. From that, we rationalized that the polyhedron promoter could be harnessed to overexpress any protein. Later in the lab, though lacking cloning kits and GFP reporters, my colleagues demonstrated that indeed this promoter could overexpress any downstream gene. This BEV system was used to generate a virus-like vaccine that did protect against cervical cancer, and that was commercialized as Cervarix. Vaccines used today protect against HPV cancers would not have been possible except for prior and extensive curiosity-driven research on HPVs, cancer, and high expression systems, followed by translational research to actually generate the vaccine. The take-home message is that great advances are made by partnership between curiosity-driven and applied research, by working collaboratively, enjoying your research, and talking with inspiring friends over death burgers. The beer is optional. A second CBC story this week was about a professor at UBC who retracted his paper suggesting a link between aluminum in vaccines and autism. That was raised about 20 years ago and already discounted. That such a paper was published is troubling, since science is supposedly trustworthy. However, that it was retracted is evidence that eventually science corrects itself. In closing, yes, finally, I would like to offer some parting words. You may feel some trepidation of the current world order or chaos with fake news, alternative facts, and even fake degrees, as well as authoritarian and downright dictatorial regimes, human rights abuses, the refugee crises, and extreme weather events. There are challenges, but every convocation year has its challenges, as well as its triumphs. At my graduation, times were also desperate. The Vietnam War was raging, anti-war protests were met with violence. Just Google Kent State Massacre for evidence. The Cuban Missile Crisis was just averted, and Martin Luther King was assassinated. We had our list of despots, like General Francisco Franco in Spain, and worse, but we survived. However, times were also good. The Beatles were at their peak with Abbey Road, as were the Rolling Stones, with Mick Jagger still going strong, and Motown. Jack Kennedy was president, US president. Martin Luther King had a dream, yet to be fulfilled. A man walked on the moon for the first time, and the first computer mouse was patented. I didn't know that until I was preparing this lecture. On the science side, reverse transcriptase, along with mRNA polyadenylation and capping, was discovered, and the first recombinant DNA was made. So don't despair. Good things also happen. You're no doubt wondering what your future will bring. Will one of you develop an oncolytic virus which kills the incurable glioblastoma which took the life of Gord Downey earlier this week? With your hard-won degrees in hand, you're now extremely well qualified to contribute to the betterment of the world, be it as researchers, policy consultants, journalists, veterinarians, medical doctors or other health professionals, teachers, bioinformaticians, patent lawyers, politicians, or entrepreneurs. You have a wide range of choices. You can affect change, but please do it responsibly and with compassion. You'll encounter many barriers or detours along towards your goals, but don't let those deter you. They're just testing your mettle. You will succeed in following your dreams if you persevere, don't take no for an answer, work as part of a team, and use the intellectual, technical, and analytical skills you learned at Guelph, and above all, enjoy what you're doing. You're about to receive your various science degrees, and your families should be justly proud. That degree will open many doors. All you have to do is walk through, and you'll be in line for some great adventures and be able to make great, important breakthroughs. But at the same time, culture your friendships, take time to relax and have fun. You do not have to be serious all the time. Come back and visit us. We'd like to hear how well you're doing. We salute you and your parents. Wish you all the best in your future careers. You will soon no longer be graduands. Thank you for this opportunity to address you.
Thank you, Professor Krell. That was a wonderful speech, and I hope that in the fog of your own excitement about graduation in the days and months and years ahead, you may reflect on those remarks and remember them. Good morning, I'm Charlotte Yates. I'm the Provost and Vice President Academic at the University of Guelph, and I have the great honor of allowing the graduands to start down that path that they've been waiting for and why it is that you're here. Would you please rise? Madam Chancellor, I have the honor to present to you these scholars who have fulfilled the statutory requirements laid down by the Senate of the University of Guelph, that they may be admitted to the various and several degrees.
By virtue of the authority vested in me and in the University of Guelph, I hereby accept you for admission to your various and several degrees with all the rights, privileges, and obligations pertaining thereto.
Will members of the graduating class please be seated?
Good morning, everyone.
Oh, it should be.
You hear me up there?
No. Right.
Good morning, everyone. How's that?
No.
Do you want to give me mine?
One more time.
Yes. Yes. We're
going to give you the wire.
Give you the wireless.
Put on here.
Okay, let's try that. Well, good morning, everyone. My name is Brian Husband. I'm the Associate Dean Academic for the College of Biological Science, and I'll be one of the name readers this morning. This is, of course, a very proud day for all of you, the families and friends of the graduates, and I just wanted to begin by welcoming you to express your excitement for your graduate as they walk across this stage to be greeted by the Vice Chancellor. However, I wanted also to ask the general audience, please save your collective applause until after the presentation of each of the major degree programs, and we'll give you the cue as to when that happens. There will be some changes in readers throughout that process. Madam Chancellor and Mr. President, I have the honor to present to you these scholars from the College of Biological Science that they may be admitted to the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Christian Anthony Carlucci. Laura Castellani. Go ahead. Tzitziki Del Rosario Luisa Quintana. Jenna Penny. Megan Elizabeth Racy. I have looked at the names.
You just stand really close. So
Yeah, that's right. Okay, do I have a card?
Yes.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Jeff Wichtel. I have the privilege of serving as the Dean of the Ontario Veterinary College. Madam Chancellor, Mr. President, I have the honor to present to you these scholars from the Ontario Veterinary College that they may be admitted to the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Shaima Wagdi Mahmoud Abdelmagid. Hannah Elizabeth Flint. Madam Chancellor, Mr. President, I have the honor to present to you these scholars from the Ontario Veterinary College that they be admitted to the degree of Doctor of Veterinary Science. Alicia Marie Skelding. Charlotte Breyer Winder. I'd like to invite you to share with me the applause for these wonderful doctoral students. Madam Chancellor, Mr. President, I have the honor to present to you these scholars from the College of Biological Science that they may be admitted to the degree of Master of Bioinformatics. Sana Alwash. Travis Michael Blimke. Xiaoxi Chen. Laura Kelsey Lontaine. Sarah Francesca Latour. Chin-Yang Lee. Alexandra Livernois. Andrew Riley. Alana Sparks. Matthew Alexander Studley. Madam Chancellor and Mr. President, I have the honor to present to you these scholars from the College of Biological Science that they may be admitted to the degree of Master of Biotechnology. Benjamin Edward Dobosh. Shane Roy Lukanen. Alexander Emmerich Mitro. Biba Murthy. Michael Alexander Osborne. Madam Chancellor, Mr. President, I have the honor to present to you these scholars from the College of Biological Science that they may be admitted to the degree of Master of Science. Owen Stewart Anderson. Drew Anthony. Daniela Baranovsky. Mackenzie Elizabeth Charter.
Alexandra Michelle Coates. Tal Feldman. Monica Lacey Gallant. Dendra Millicent Hillier. Nicole Jennifer Kelly. Samantha Marie Knight. Mackenzie Lorimer. Erin Rebecca Leith. Bronwyn Jean Elizabeth Lyons. Wadud Malik. Ziad Marushi. Elizabeth Rose Miller. Okay. Dobrupka Mujinski. Wesley Stephen Newton. Frances Louise Palshorn. James Michael Paquin. Kaylee Smith. Victoria Soussier. Sarah Kathleen Trache. Lisette Verseilenberg. Please join me in congratulating all of these graduates.
Madam Chancellor, Mr. President, I have the honor to present to you the scholars from the Ontario Veterinary College that they be admitted to the degree of Master of Biomedical Science. Jaskaran Kaur Boparai. Ola Sarah Davis. Austin Z. Hu Duong. Jack Lee. Sydney Rosemary Sinopoli. Madam Chancellor, Mr. President, I have the honor to present to you these scholars from the Ontario Veterinary College that they be admitted to the degree of Master of Science. Rashi Asana. Wingka Amanda Young. Paige Madison Choyner. Lindsay Jennifer Day. Sarah Vita Donato. Melanie Frances Dupuy. Mei Hua Wang. Christine Ann James. Georgia Kritikos. Melissa McKinnon. Rebecca Paula McDonald. Emma Irene Morrison. Michaela Elizabeth Ann Ross. Amanda Santa Rosa. Frances Pat Nicole Simbulan. Rachel Carson Terrio. Tanya Rose Wilson. Please join me in congratulating these master students from the Ontario Veterinary College.
Madam Chancellor, Mr. President, I have the honor to present to you these scholars from the College of Biological Science that they may be admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Science in the Honors Program. Samantha Ann Abraham. Samuel Kenneth David Adams. Thank you. Liam Patrick Adamson. Sahab Bajwa. That was, Sahaj was with distinction, I apologize. Chesney Ann Baldwin with distinction. Danica Belanger. Michael Eugenio Bernardo. Ashley Carol Bowen with distinction. Danielle Maria Canhoto with distinction. Matthew William Carswell with distinction. Pascal Marie Catherine Thefall Colangelo with distinction. Kenora Mary Kraft. Amber Deef. Caitlin Margaret Joyce Hubei Dennis. Maggie Claudia Dickey. Andrea Dobrescu. Taylor Courtney Fain. Samantha Catherine Franco. Zachary William Fryer. Shauna Catherine Fulton. Laura Jana. Frank Robert Greco. Munraj Singh Gruel. Amelia Janina Grezik with distinction. Abby Hino. Lauren Keiko Isaacs. Jennifer Rose Kenna. Luke Joseph Stanley Knowles. Isabella Laskowski. Liliane Yvonne Lecleptu. Alana K. McGregor. Sarah Ann Marton. Alexandria Natasha Marovic Mayer. Sarah Meyer. Kira Page Mortimer with distinction. Christine Diane Marie Pelchat. Patrick Charles Quinn. Angela Christina Saleh. That was with distinction. Erica Suzanne Saul. Caitlin Ann Sheehy Nelson with distinction. Linda Paola Sosa Hernandez. Deirdre Stewart. Sanjay Sugamar. Allison Dawn Thomas with distinction. E. Lok To with distinction. Daniel Troster. Madison Turner with distinction. Ashling Dorothy Balsamas. Lauren Sophia Burpastel. Madam Chancellor, Mr. President, I have the honor to present to you these scholars from the College of Biological Science that they may be admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Science General Program. India Anamanthadu with distinction. Karen Sophia Becker. Maria Burliant. Kelsey Bonnell. Razel Bianca Cavan. Michelle Dancy. Vanilla Goinga. Jerome Rayner C. Lacambra. Jesse Plord. Okay, let's hear a big round of applause for all of those graduates.
Madam Chancellor, I would ask you to confer the various and several degrees on the graduates listed in the program but unable to be present at this ceremony.
By virtue of the authority vested in me and in the University of Guelph, I confer the various and several degrees in absentia on the graduands not present.
Well, graduates, you did it. Congratulations. Terrific work. Well, let me take this opportunity now to welcome all of you to the Griffin alumni family, a growing family. Today, close to 1,000 new graduates are joining that group. University of Guelph alumni now number more than 140,000 graduates around the world. As you can imagine, we're all hugely proud of you and your accomplishments here at the University of Guelph, and do look forward to seeing how the foundations that you've developed here as a student will continue to support you in the future. We want to celebrate your achievements and successes, and do hope that you will stay in touch. And remember that you're always welcome here. Graduates, I'm sure you've made all sorts of memories here, including today's ceremony, and remember this as well. You're a student for a relatively short time, but you're a Griffin forever. Congratulations. Well done. Now, this concludes our formal convocation ceremony. The college deans will be hosting a reception for all graduates and their guests in Quailman Hall. This is really an opportunity to come by, relax, congratulate the graduates, and we hope that many of you can attend. And now, as tradition has it, the final word is from our Chancellor.
Convocation is dismissed.
So we'll leave it down and put it back into the time. And we're going to ask you to head out